Hello, welcome to The Drama Coach. So this is a bit of an update about where I'm going from here with the channel. So my youngest daughter has been saying to me for a little while now that she wants to act, no surprise. So I really wanted to facilitate that, and for various reasons that I won't go into here, I decided it's also time for me to go back to acting. So we are going to embark on this journey together, ideally focusing on screen acting. And we thought it'd be useful, and I'll bring her on here on some other videos, if we talk through the steps, the process, the tips, the tricks, the resources that we find along the way. So we're about a week into this thought process, and this is what we've done so far. And this is what I'd advise you to do so far if you want to go into screen acting from, well, any age really, because we've learnt a couple of things that have been helpful along the way. Do drop me a comment if you have a differing opinion or perhaps agree with what we've said, or you've got some tips and tricks of your own that you want to share. So, first thing I did for Lacey was set her up a parent-managed, of course, Instagram account. And although this isn't essential, you don't have to be having your own social media at 8 years old to become an actor, of course you don't. But for me and for her, we feel it's a way of making some connections and for her to see what other children around her age are doing, where are their opportunities, and what would she like to do. So we've got that set up, and we're following lots of other child actors, which is really interesting, and she's creating her own content, just sort of, for now it's pictures of her in her Halloween costumes, what she's doing in her dance and drama each week, and her monologue competition that she's, monologue challenge that she's entered, things like that. So we've started that off for her. Obviously I've got my own social media. The second thing we did was get some headshots of ourselves. So you don't need expensive headshots to start with, you just need a decent photo of yourself. But the sooner you can get headshots, the better. We were lucky to use my husband, who's got a decent camera, and we've got some space and some backdrops, and he'd like to do it again for us now he's gone through that process and get them even better. But he's created us some headshots so that we can use those. After you've got headshots, you obviously are going to need a show reel. Now that is the hardest thing, and this was hard for me to get my head around. How can you get a show reel when you haven't done any jobs? Yet you need a show reel to get your jobs. So of course you can record your own monologues, or you can have somebody read the other line. This is what I'm going to do for Lacey this week, the other line off camera and feed you the lines, and you can record your own stuff. Just about every parent has got a smartphone with the ability to record now in pretty good quality. So you can make your own show reel. Hopefully before you know it, you'll have material from the jobs that you've taken, which I'll talk about in a minute. Oh, I've got so much to say. What a surprise. So show reels. We have started our show reels. So I've recorded some monologues, mainly theatre monologues, because that's my background and because that's what I'm comfortable with. But I've tried, again, they're beautifully written, but I've tried to make them more appropriate for screen acting. So not necessarily standing in the middle of the room, you know, full on big, bold theatre acting. Close your camera in, make it tighter. For me, calm my face down a little bit because I can get a little bit overexcited, a little bit overexpressive, which again, theatre, you need to be bigger, and for screen, it needs to be happening sometimes behind your eyes and a little bit more subtle than perhaps I'm used to. So you can record these monologues or these scripts. If you can't get hold of scripts, so I mean, you can take something that you've seen on Netflix or wherever. You can take something that you like and make it your own. You can, that's my cat in the background, thanks Tiger. You can take monologues that are written for film, for theatre. You can take those. Try and take something that fits you. You know, there's no point me making Lacey play the mother parts. It makes a lot more sense that I play those. She's doing something from Blood Brothers, so she's playing a character who's 7, nearly 8, her being 8, nearly 9, pretty much fits her. So try and choose something that you feel fits for you to begin creating that show reel. From what I've learned so far, you want to fit your brand. So are you playing mothers and children or whatever, or with the type, fit your brand within reason, but also show versatility. This is the trickiest thing I came up with, even with the headshots. You want to be versatile and be able to play other parts, but at the same time, everybody advises you to find your brand. And if you're brand new to it, how do you know what your brand is before you've even accepted any jobs? So again, if you've got any great solutions to that problem, please drop me a comment, because I'd really like to know what you think, and I'll keep you updated on where we are with creating our show reels. So jobs. I've managed to bag myself a couple of jobs just from being on actors forums on Facebook. So next week I'm going to play a World War I nurse, and to be honest, this links quite easily with my teacher role. So you're teaching, I'm going to be teaching first aid, which again, the company's going to teach me, historic workshops are going to teach me what to do, and then I will run that. So that's again live acting, whereas we want to slip into screen acting, but this is a paid job. So it ticks off one of your first paid jobs. I believe it's £500 you need to earn to qualify for equity. So I need to earn that as an actor before I can qualify for equity. So there's my first £100 there from doing a day's work that I'm going to enjoy, being an actor for a day, even though there's a tiny bit of teaching in there. My second job is in the new year, and I've taken a part in a student film to play a co-lead in a student film. Brilliant, I'll enjoy it. The character seems really fun to play. Again, it's a paid job. Often student films are. And if you want to take unpaid student films so that you've got material for your show reel, brilliant, great, go for it. If you can afford to do that, that's great. But again, I want to, as quick as I can, tick off that £500 so that I can apply for equity. So that's my next £100 job, bagged. I'm looking forward to that because again, unlike the live acting job next week, this can go straight into becoming part of my show reel. So I'm relying on these fabulous students to create. They have promised me that they will share the footage. From the research I've done, apparently it can sometimes be difficult to get the footage. So if you are signing up for an unpaid job or even a paid job on a student film, just ask them beforehand, you know, is it going to be okay if I have that footage? I need this for my show reel. I'm sure they'll be accommodating. So that's my 2 jobs out of 3. So the third one is going to be a little bit longer in the process, but myself and a friend are going to co-produce a film. So I'm going to play the part that she'd been conceiving for a book. We're actually going to make that into a short film instead, and I'm going to play that lead part. So again, you can self-produce stuff. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be trawling forever to find things. You can produce your own. This is going to be a little bit more challenging for us. She's got some technical knowledge, which is great. And again, we have got our smartphones. There is technology at our fingertips, not necessarily as much as you'd get if you were going and doing a paid job, but there is the ability there to self-produce. So again, it won't tick off towards my paid work, but I'm going to be looking out again this week and seeing if I can get signed up for some more paid acting work. Lacey, bless her, she hasn't got any acting jobs yet. No surprise, I've only just set up her Instagram and as I said, and just got her headshots. So I'm going to get on there having a look. I, at the moment, don't know specifically where to look. Again, there may be a role for her in our self-produced film, which is great, but that's going to be a little while in the making. So again, if you've got children that you are currently facilitating their child actor dreams, let me know what you're doing to help that. And hopefully next week I'll have a bit more update on where I am with Lacey and how I am creating and facilitating her first job. So I've managed to ramble on for about 10 minutes now. I hope that's interesting. I'll just try and summarize it. So starting out, you need a decent photograph and or then headshots. You will need to be producing your own show reel, be it from self-made things or volunteer jobs or even paid jobs that perhaps don't need you to audition for. Perhaps you're doing somebody a bit of a favour. So you need your headshots, you need your show reel. I wouldn't bother with an agent yet. That can come later when you've got some jobs. So yeah, for headshots, show reel, begin your jobs. and then we will go from there. Thanks very much for watching, and I shall update again next week.